Hi guys, Chox here. Welcome back to the Basics playlist. Let's get to the table and see what tool we're having a look at next. Today we're talking about palette knives, spatulas, icing spreaders, that thing you use that has the angle on it. How else do we refer to these things? As the thingy? What they are is palette knives. And what that is, it's not actually a knife. What it is just a nice, and it's not a super sharp like a knife. It's a thin-edged spatula that you use to decorate cakes. And when you use the edge of it like this, you scrape it across, it gives you that beautiful, pristine look to it. Now, people will tell you you need 22 different million types of palette knives in order to decorate a single cake. You actually don't. 90% of the time, I use that. It's a 6-inch blade or a 7-inch blade. I also have a smaller one. But with this size knife, it's not too much to handle. This is a big knife. This is for like the great big huge half slab cakes where you don't want to get any lines in the middle. You can see how that would work, right? Now, you can do smaller cakes with it, but it's too big. It's too much palette knife, all right? I used these ones in the professional bakery when I was doing half slab and full slab cakes. My go-to knife in my house is this guy right here. It doesn't matter, like, you could have a wooden handle or a plastic handle. This is just a straight edge, straight cake decorating palette knife. It's got a nice brought together sharp edge there. And when I go around my cake, I can smooth this out, not a problem. I can go around it, turn the cake, and smooth it out there again. I don't find, and then when I'm doing the edges, I don't find it's too much to handle. Whereas like doing the edges and pulling it with this doesn't even fit in the frame right now, right? So it's a giant, giant palette knife. I like me just a little 6 or 7-incher. Now this is an offset. You'll hear people talking about an offset palette knife. Let's see if I can get that image in there. Offset is just when it's a shape of an L, okay? It's in the shape of an L. And what this does is instead of risking running your handle into that while you're running the cake, it gives you that edge where you can just hold your cake, hold your palette knife in one spot, throw your cake on your turntable, turn it, and you get that nice level. So you can use an offset palette knife. I prefer a straight edge because it's what I've learned on. Now, as silly as it sounds, I find myself using my mini offset more than anything. Any offset that I've ever used. And that's just for little detailing or picking things up that I need to for fixing my mistakes. Because say I put a flower here that I don't want there. Well, I could tip this and then just like scoop that up so I don't touch the cake. All right, so there's many good things about an offset. You can definitely do sides with the offset. You can absolutely do the top with the offset. My personal preference, my go-to, if I only had one palette knife, would be a 6-inch straight. Simple as that. I have decorated large cakes with a simple 6-inch straight as well. It's more difficult, but it can be done. And yeah, if you're doing great big huge cakes, the offset is a good idea. But if that's what you have, use it. You do not need to go out and buy one of everything. It just so happens that over my years of decorating, I have accumulated a lot. But seriously, even as I'm doing this, my go-to is just my little blade here. All right, and there we are for our palette knife video, our spatula video. This is really good for scraping the bowl as well. However, I do prefer a silicone spatula for that, which I do have somewhere. It's not an essential, so it didn't make the video. But yeah, I do love my silicone when it comes to scraping the bowl and getting absolutely every last drop of everything out. Alright, I changed my mind. It is absolutely necessary. So this is literally the one I use for inside my big icing bowl. and for in my colored icing bowls. You know, when I want to scrape that icing and get every last drop out of it, I use a straight edge silicone. And I absolutely love it. I highly recommend. I use this on my hot chocolate melt. I use this on whatever icing I'm using. So yeah, I guess there we go. My silicone bowl scraper should be included with the palette knives as an essential. Any spoon will do, but this is my go-to baby. All right, I'm going to put a window up here for you to click through. Our next video is going to be on piping bags and couplers. All right, so click this little square coming up right here. It'll take you right to that video. Welcome back to the baby.